Hello and welcome to Protect and Prevent podcast. My name is Opal Singleton. I'm with an organization called Million Kids, millionkids.org. We're here today to talk about a very difficult subject. This is actually part 2. We covered a lot of it last week, but in case you have not heard, we're going to cover it again because this is, in my opinion, the most important piece of knowledge any parent, any grandparent, any teacher, any pastor can have in this day and age. And what I'm talking about is financial sextortion. And, sextortion has been around for a very long time. I've been talking about it for nearly 15 years. So it's absolutely nothing new. And I think that's part of the problem. It changed, and it changed dramatically. And yet so few parents, and even yet less of our young people, know exactly what financial sextortion is. And it is dastardly beyond anything you can ever imagine. So I'm going to ask you, as you're listening to this, to stop and pay very close attention. This hideous tragedy is happening because everyone thinks they already know. And if you talk to your kids, they're going to throw their hands up. Mom, I know, I'll be good, I'll be careful. I know how it works, I'm not going to get caught. It's all right. It won't happen to me. And that is exactly how the 45 kids that lost their lives have felt. And that's why I'm doing this podcast. That's why I want everyone to understand exactly how it happens. The sad reality is that few people realize now that more than 80% of online reports of sexual exploitation originate outside the U.S. And it changes everything. You have to understand how it works and how it's going to change your life and your child's life. So what happened? I wrote a book about this. For what it's worth, you can get it. It's not all that expensive. It's called Digital Warfare, Our Kids on the Front Line. You can get the audio version for $5 over at millionkids.org. Or if you want to go to Amazon, it's on Amazon and Kindle there. And you can get it, and I hope you get it, and I hope you share it. So about 3 years ago, all of this changed dramatically, but very few people seem to understand why. And it's not all that hard, so bear with me. The entire world began to be connected by 5G high-speed internet. Now, we all know it. I mean, if you ask anybody, they'll go, yeah, we're all connected. We get reports at the speed of light from, the war that's going on in Iran or wherever, because we're all globally connected. Actually, only about 70% of the world is connected, which is really what scares the socks off of me. Because as more and more of the world become connected, there is more and more chance that you and your children and your elderly parents will become victims of online exploitation. But it doesn't look like it used to, and that is what is important. If you talk to your children, they are going to tell you, Mom, I'm careful. I only talk to people I know, or they know somebody I know. Well, they need to sit down with you. What I would encourage you to do is put down all the defensiveness. Everybody sit down and say, I know you're careful. That's why I trusted you with a phone or a device. Okay. I believe in you. I'm here for you. And I know you're careful. And I know you're smart. But what neither of us understand is exactly how and why all this changed. So I want to share it with you so that you can understand how this works. You yourself may want to go online onto YouTube and put in teen suicide, sextortion, and listen to the cases. There are 45 precious young males, the cream of the crop kids. I have read every one of their stories. I've listened to the heartache of their parents and their siblings as they miss a person they thought would never fall prey to this. And every one of them said, I've never heard of financial sextortion. If we can get the word COVID around the world, this is as serious as COVID. And we need to get financial sextortion around the world so we all understand it. So if you ask your child, especially your son, how do you determine? They say, well, I only talk to people I know or people who know me or a friend of a friend. I want you to share and understand. Go online and build a profile of your family. Sit down with your young person. Go onto LinkedIn. If you're a professional person in your family, look up LinkedIn. Look up the address of your house. Find out all the information because literally that is exactly what is happening in Nigeria, in Pakistan, in Ivory Coast, in Myanmar, in Philippines. These are individual predators. Sometimes it's groups of individual predators. Think about this. Only 70% of the world is connected now. This will happen to every one of us in the future. And I never want to ever have to listen to another story again about how a special young man took his life because he didn't understand. Because as the world is globally connected, there are a lot of people in those developing countries that have learned that young people in America will be happy to send a nude, and then you can blackmail the heck out of them. In fact, the latest statistics says that 1 out of 6 boys and 1 out of 7 girls have sent a nude. So here's how it works. You might have individuals, but you probably have groups of individuals or organized crime. This is normally how it works. They develop a profile of your son. And in this case, they go after the kids that are the most well known, the most popular. In fact, when I read these 45 stories of these young people who took their lives, some of them took their lives in 35 minutes after it started. One was 28 minutes. Some of them got over 1,000 texts immediately after they sent a nude. So what will happen is they will run your child's profile. And most of the kids that were targeted were kids in sports, kids that were getting an award, kids that were homecoming kings, kids that were getting a scholarship. Run your own profiles. If you have young children in your life, see what other people can see about that child online. Because people sitting in Nigeria looking to make millions of dollars know how easy and vulnerable it is to get an American kid to send a nude. So here's how it's going to look to your son, especially. They will catch you in a weak moment. In one case, the kid was still practicing at school and began to text. They'll start to flirt, and this girl looks hot. And she knows somebody you know. That's because she has your profile. It'll seem like somebody you already know. She knows what school you go to. She knows your friends. How does she know your friends? Because your list of followers on Instagram and TikTok and all that are right there. So she's a friend of all your friends, okay? And what they do is they'll start to do whatever they can to get a nude. Now, they almost always will move you off the platform you're on and move you to other platforms. Often it is like if you're on Instagram, it often starts on Instagram. It'll go to TikTok or Snapchat or one of the others. And kids think nothing is sending a nude on Snapchat because they have this crazy illusion it's just going to disappear. That nothing could be further from the truth in the days of AI. Maybe the original disappears, but people can get it and alter it now, and that one doesn't disappear. The minute they have their nudes, their lives change dramatically. I've read all 45 of these stories, and it just gets brutal. One kid got 1,000 texts in a 24-hour period. Our kids are not prepared to stand against this. They will take these nudes and they'll turn them over to a group of criminals, cartels that begin pounding your child. Now they want money. And one of the discussions you need to know is you need to have the discussion with your child. I hope that from here on out, by the way, by child, some of them are 17 years old and they're 6'2", okay? You're a young person. Let's leave it at that. What will happen is they want money, and they have a template. They hold up that nude along with your list of Instagram followers, along with your list of TikTok followers, everyone you know. And they will say, this is going out to everyone you know. I need money, and I'm going to do this until you pay me. And I'm going to tell you right now, you need to have the conversation with your kid that there is not enough money in the world to make them stop. One little 13-year-old young man, he said, I'm only a child. And every one of them, you can say, I'm going to kill myself. And they'll go right ahead. You're a dead man. Now, I'm going to tell you that I have questions about this, because if these are cartels and it's all about making money off our kids, why are they saying that? Why are they doing that to our child? Because I think there's an element of geopolitical one-upsman, of winning over American kids, of beating them, of like that. And one of the things that your child needs to know, if they get themselves in there, and keep in mind, in some of these 45 cases, they didn't really send a full nude, but we have artificial intelligence. And he saw that picture of the modified nude, and it was enough to know that they are threatening to destroy him, that he can never go back to school, that everyone will hate him, that he's embarrassed and shamed. We need the discussion right now. If that happens to you, I hope you will trust me enough to come to me. Don't do anything crazy. This is happening enough that it's happening all over the world. So we will work through it. I will stand by you, but don't get crazy. Because what is happening is many of these kids are saying they're showing a gun. They know how to get a gun. They say, I'm going to kill myself. And these people don't care. Now, one of the things I would say to you is the 45, 44 used a gun. And that doesn't mean that I'm against guns. I'm not. But I am going to tell you that if you have a teenager in your house now that is online, change the combination to the lock, because you don't know what they're going to get into. And they can be very responsible kids. But that way, they don't use it unless you're with them. And so you reassure your young person, number one, the way it works is you'll meet somebody you've never met, but they kind of know you, and they start to flirt. If you see that, pay attention. That is an invitation to destroy you. That's not an invitation for sex. And the first thing that will happen is they will take any modicum of an image they can get and alter it. So the next thing they'll do is move you from app to app. That should tell you right then and there, stop and block them and get away. Maybe put the phone in airplane mode so they can't reach you until you can reach out for help. And go and ask someone for help. You're not the first, and you won't be the last. But don't get yourself in a place where they can take advantage of your shame and your embarrassment. I want you to know that I hope from this day forward that you'll never even think about sending something like that. But if you do, or even if you're not and you're being blackmailed, please come to me and we will get a plan of action, and we're going to take this on together. Okay. Should it happen, you need to immediately block them and then screenshot the images and shut down the phone. That is important. Now, they will try other things. They will go on other apps. But that is what you need to know. You need to screenshot it. You need to work together and immediately reach out to law enforcement so that maybe law enforcement can intervene enough on your child's behalf, because your child's not the only victim. Oftentimes, these are taking place from the big scam farms that you're hearing about overseas. And it's happening to thousands of people. But I don't want another child to lose their life because they are so humiliated and so humbled and so ashamed they don't know how to respond. So sit down and have these conversations. If you have younger children in the house that are online, you need to include every one of them. And you need to understand now what your global profile is of your whole family. Because that cute little image of your grandkid online, or that cute little image of some kid in your family, is now available to be looked at by any criminal organization in the world. So we have to change the way we talk to our children. Our children need to understand that the world changed when they went online. and that what their profile is. And from here on out, if they're a friend of a friend, you just simply say, hey, you look really, really cute, but I'm not going any farther with you till I verify with my friend who you are. And leave it at that. Block them and don't go away. Don't be following them around to other places. And if you find yourself in trouble, please, please, please do not take your own life. Okay? Literally take the time to go out and ask for help from a trusted adult. They will help you think clearly. You can send them money, but you do not have enough money to send them. In these 45 cases, several of them sent money. It didn't stop. I don't know of one of the cases where it stopped when they sent money. So sending money or sending more nudes is not going to help. The thing that will help is to block them, shut it down, screenshot it, and ask a trusted adult immediately so people can stand in on your behalf. It is the best way to keep yourself and others from becoming more of a victim. And what you're going to find out is you're not the only victim. There are thousands of that. And you can help yourself and someone else if you reach out for help. Mom and Dad, I hope this is helpful to you. I hope that these are life-changing words. I hope you know the word financial sextortion. I hope you'll take the time to Google it or buy my book or follow me and kids. I so much appreciate it. Write to me at opal, O-P-A-L, at millionkids.org. And let us know, share this, where I need your help is share it with your youth minister. Share it with the sports coach at your kid's place. Share it with everyone you know. Or do an e-introduction so I can share it. Because this ought to be taught in every school. It ought to be taught in every church. It ought to be taught in every group, like, young people's group that's out there. It ought to be taught with every sports team. Keep in mind, every one of these victims played sports. And that's why they're an easy target, is they're going after the people who are the most successful. The fact that you're out there and what team you're playing and what you're doing, and the fact that you hit a home run or you got a touchdown, all of those things are public now on social media. So everyone you know now will be a friend of a friend. We have to change the criteria, and we do that by having those important conversations in a healthy environment with our kids. Please write to me if you want to do more to tell other people about it. You can do that at opal@millionkids.org. If you want to support us financially, we'd appreciate it a lot. Please share this podcast with everyone you know. I appreciate you more than you will ever know. Again, you can reach me at opal@millionkids.org. I'll see you next time on the next podcast.